What's up guys, Flo here. Today we're going to be going over the 5 most common questions I get when I'm coaching. If you guys didn't know already, I do coaching through Medify and I've already coached over 100 people. I compiled some of the questions that I get the most, so in the case that these are tickling your brain, this is the video for you. Enjoy the video. The first question shouldn't really surprise anyone, Phantom or Vandal, and this is a really common question that Valorant players have pretty much been asking since the dawn of time. Being at the same price point, it's really common that players would want to compare and pick the best weapon for them. And the answer I give really depends on the agent you're playing. Phantom's benefit is that it shoots faster, has more bullets, and specifically doesn't leave tracers through smokes, so when you're spamming through smokes, no one on the other side would see where the bullets are coming from. Vandal, on the other hand, has a flat damage, no matter the range, doing 40 to the body, and a one-hit headshot everywhere. If you're playing agents with smokes, then it benefits them largely to have a Phantom, as a lot of the times you could set yourself up by throwing a smoke out there and spamming through it. This also works really well for site anchors, because attackers will normally smoke you out, and if you're spamming through the smoke, sometimes you can just get a couple free kills. Defenders also have an inherent advantage in using the Phantom because they can pick their fights. What I mean by this, as the attackers, you have to just take whatever fights the defenders give you. If defenders are playing far range or deeper down sight lines, you don't really have the ability to pick that because you're going to need to run through their defensive setups where they want to. As a defender, I can decide to play really up close or far, meaning that if I pick the Phantom, I can play to its strong suits where it still does have the one-hit capability at close range, and I can mitigate the downside between the Phantom and Vandal's one-hit headshot. This is also why on the attacking side, I'll normally favor toward the Vandal, because it makes a lot more sense. Defenders can be peeking me from long ranges, and since I don't have that ability to mitigate the one-hit headshot, I might as well pick the weapon that can. On those rounds, I will normally favor to pick toward the Vandals because when you have 125 HP, the Phantom can one-hit headshot you anyway. So when I have the Vandal, I can kind of make sure that even though I have less money, I still have that ability to one-hit headshot them. Now, with that being said, a lot of it does come up to personal preference. If you're more of a tap/burst player, then it's recommended that you stick with the Vandal, as you have a lot more of a potential at chaining up multiple kills, the more comfortable you are with your aim. If you want a little bit more leeway, then the Phantom is the way to go. It's a lot easier to control and correct for, but a good player can be good at either, so don't feel like you're a bad player if you pick either one of them. The next common question I get is, what agent should I be playing? For most of us, we're just playing ranked, and in terms of ranked, in general, it favors toward playing more aggressive agents that have more self-sustainability. This is why in terms of controllers, Omen is very popular because he has the ability to play aggressive with his flash, but also support his team with smokes. Duelists are also obviously very popular, as a lot of them have the ability to get kills, which in most cases in ranked is the most important aspect, and a lot of them also have the ability to get out of dangerous situations such as Jet Dash or Chamber, which is a sentinel but is played like a duelist. Then probably playing a more aggressive agent with flashes, some sort of escape. So my tip is, if your only goal is to grind ranked and rank up as fast as possible, is the way to go. That doesn't mean that playing like Astra is necessarily bad. It is just going to be a little bit harder, as in ranked, since you can't normally play off your teammates as perfectly as you would want, since, you know, it's random. You're going to have to make do with the best you can. Every agent technically has the ability to play aggressive. It really depends on how comfortable you are with this agent, but in general, entrusting as much impact to your personal self, which is usually given to a duelist/initiator role, will help you rank up faster. If you're just trying to be the best supportive agent or play for a team, then it's gonna make more sense to play the supportive agents, as most people in the general scene are swaying toward the first part of this tip, and therefore there's a lack of solid support players out there. So it really depends on what you're trying to get at. Number 3 is how to improve your aim. Now, aim is one of the most important parts in Valorant, as if we take out all the abilities, most of the time the impact comes from you just fragging out another player and winning your 1v1. So there's a few things to improving your aim. One is make sure you have a good warm-up routine. In general, I personally found that if I don't warm up, I play significantly worse in my ranked games. So for me, that's usually starting in the range and using the timer as a way to kind of tell how well I'm improving or how well I'm doing. Going for only headshots, slowly and accurately, methodically getting them, not focusing too much on trying to get the fastest time to kill, because that doesn't really make sense, especially when you're just trying to practice for your headshot. As you continue practicing, you'll see the time that you need to complete this Eliminate 50 will shrink. The most common way people practice their aim is through deathmatch, and that makes a lot of sense because you get to actually use the agent mechanics and the movement speed that you wouldn't be able to do with something like aim labs. Recoil control is also a very big part of improving, so when you're playing deathmatch, try to have a goal set with that deathmatch rather than just trying to win. Whether you're just practicing for only headshots and maybe you're just popping the sheriff or guardian so that you practice your first shot accuracy, or you want to practice more with spray control, therefore you're running rifles and you're going for sprays and bursts, but have a goal. Just trying to win doesn't make you improve that fast. Remember, deathmatch isn't the point. You're trying to win your ranked games. In deathmatch, you can realize that there's no pressure for you to win this, and therefore pick one of your skills that you want to hone. You can also run aim labs or grid shot or something like that, but to be honest, personally, I don't ever use that. I don't think that it's a bad thing to do, but for some people who are low on time, I'll usually recommend that just run some deathmatch. It'll get you more closer to in-game experience, but if you have the extra time, throwing a few aim lab routines is definitely not a bad play. Kovacs works just as well, but in the end, you want to make sure it matches up to your time schedule. Number 4 is, how do I position better? So contrary to most belief, a lot of the times you're not getting kills isn't necessarily because you're missing, but it's because you're positioning poorly. Especially on the defense, since you can pick your position, this is where it really comes into play. Smart players will pick positions that suit their needs. For example, in a position where I'm okay with a one and done, then playing like this will be fine. I'm most likely going to catch someone blindsided, but the ability for me to get out anymore after this is very, very low. If I want to play a safer position where I need to get multi-frags, then I'm going to be playing something like this, where I can just get a kill and then drop off into safety, repositioning and getting a second kill off of a player that needs to clear multiple angles. Positioning off utility is also very important. If you're planning on darting, then playing behind a wall like this and shooting them when they run out is a very smart way to do it. Originally, where this was a good spot is now a bad spot because you don't really have any ability to use any utility to help you. The next thing is playing off of your HP. If you have low HP, then generally standing out in the open is not exactly the smartest thing to do. Positioning yourself in a headshot angle like this, where they can only see your head, and likewise, technically, you can only see their head, but you have the element of surprise, and essentially, you've equaled the playing field, since if you're already at 1 HP, them getting a headshot does not benefit them at all, but it does benefit you greatly. Playing off your teammates is also equally important. For example, if you see someone posted bottom mid, they're going to be the first point of contact for any enemies that are deciding to run up mid. Instead of just swinging out and getting this kill where you have no benefit, and any attackers who are toward the backside of mid will see you without your teammate being able to support, play off the contact of your teammate. When they see someone, then you feel confident in swinging, catching off anyone who's going to try to trade their teammate and kill your player bottom mid. These crossfires can be set up pretty much on any site and everywhere. Look where your teammates are. Sometimes this doesn't even really need to be communicated, and with some common sense, you can make it work. Question number 5 is, when should I rotate? Now, in Valorant, if the enemy never hits your sight on the defense side, you're going to find it be very, very annoying, as you're playing retake every single time. So when you should be rotating is based off of information. Play for jump peaks earlier in round and off of sound cues to know if there's even anyone around this area. If you're not seeing anyone toward, let's say, B main, and you're hearing a lot of noise toward A main, then it makes a lot more sense to start rotating early. This sometimes is not good enough of a reason because they might be leaving a lurk. In that case, using your utility to clear the deeper parts of B main to give you a more definite confirmation that it's probably not going to be B will make you feel a lot safer in just leaving the site. You can also start cheating toward the other site. So what cheating is essentially, as a B defender, you start moving farther away from the site that you're supposed to be defending in anticipation that it's going to be the other site. This is usually done because you can't confirm whether it's going to not be a beat hit quite yet, but you also don't want to be as far from the A site as possible. So instead of playing somewhere like back B boathouse, you start playing towards spawn, where you can still watch the main to know if they're coming out, but you would also have a faster rotate to A. Now, it might seem like it's not that big of a difference in terms of distance, but if you look at it, the distance between boathouse is about 36 meters. And if I stand from here and I look towards site, that's about 35 meters. So the distance between me playing in spawn and back boathouse is the same difference between me being here and me being on site, which is a huge difference. One of them, you're probably going to get smoked out and mollied out in heaven, unable to help your teammate. The other one is you're going to be on site, defending with your other 1 or 2 teammates, and making it much harder for the attackers to even come onto site, avoiding playing retake completely. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video helpful. These are the 5 most common coaching questions that I get. If you guys would like to see me continue this series, comment down below, let me know with any questions that you might have, and I'll be sure to answer them in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if you want to check out my coaching services, I have a link in the description below. But anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.